Well, that was a hell of a basketball game. I'm sure Brad might look at it a little differently, but I did think it was a hell of a game. I thought we did what we had to do, and that was contain Wagler. I said my freshman of the year is no problem. But I thought he could be player of the year in our league. He was playing so good. If you watch him in some of the games, he's unbelievable, and I love his demeanor and the way he doesn't do things. But we said we had to contain him. We did. We said we had to rebound with him. And out-rebound them 48-38 with that size and everything, I think was the big part of the game. We made free throws, and we ran some good things. I thought Doug did an unbelievable job on the scouting report. We did some things different. We didn't switch everybody like some teams did because we thought the mismatches would hurt us, especially on the boards. John had a couple great calls as we got downhill with Jeremy. And my freshmen, both of them played really well. If you really look at it, Cam was 3 for 4, 2 for 2 from the line. But he has 7 rebounds in 18 minutes and 8 points, and he has that big tip in late. And Jordan, what do you say about him? He's got stitches in his eye. He's made some big shots, made a couple big free throws, but his defense was unbelievable. And and then everybody did something. Kerr comes in and misses a wide open shot. Jackson gets the rebound. He hits that one in front of the rim or in front of the bench. Cohen, I thought, made some great plays and did a good job defensively. Coop got some big time rebounds too. Jackson gets 16 boards. That was more Michigan State. Antonio Smith was there, and he said, just like old times, coach, and that's what we had to do. We had to defend it. Even though they scored 80 points, it was in overtime. They only shot 36%, 27 from the three. They've been shooting 50. And I think that is one of the better teams we've played. And I think he's one of the better coaches that we go against. So it was a hell of a game. Physical, tough, hell of a game. Questions?
Left over here, obviously Jeremy in the spotlight a lot last week, but what did you think of his performance today? I think 26. 11.
Yeah, he played really well, but he'll be the first to tell you. Like a couple of those cutouts in that he missed. There was a couple of switches, but we played him a lot of minutes too. And Denham did a good job the little he was in there, and Jeremy was phenomenal once we got him downhill a little bit, and his defense was really good. He just got lax, not used to covering. Because we put a bigger guy, Jordan, on Wagler, Jeremy had to cover Davis kid some, and who's a very good rebounder. Then he had to cover Hummer House, and he's a very good rebounder. And we screwed up on a couple things like that, but I thought his attitude and his performance and accepting what he didn't do right was excellent. So, yeah, I was pleased, and he's making more free throws. He's done a hell of a job at the free throw line and still gets 15 assists and 2 turnovers, so it's not like he's just scoring it.
Hey, Tom, you always tell us, game prep is a foundation for your program, and you always tell us it's the players that play, but I'm just wildly curious, consciously or subconsciously, how much does who the coach is play a role, especially with somebody like Brad Underwood that you got great respect for? How much does that play a role in the game prep too?
Well, the defensive prep was Doug Wojcik. He did the job on that. He deserves a lot of credit for it. Right now, I got a pretty good thing with those 3 guys that are scouting ahead of time, and each one of them has a different way. But we went out on a limb here a little bit, unconventional for us and how we covered them, and that was all him. And then I thought, we did some good things offensively. I thought we had some great shots early. We just missed some really good shots. So I'd say my whole staff did a good job, and I just handled all the distractions and let them do their coaching. They did a hell of a job.
How relieved were you that Underwood didn't get the appeal on Fears?
I don't know. Larry, you're the only guy that would ask that question. I have no idea. I didn't go over there. If he breathes on somebody now, there's going to be a call thanks to what happened. So, end of that story. Ask me another question, you won't get an answer. Next.
Tom, where did the confidence come to let Scott guard Wagler? Because he seemed like he kind of locked him up tonight.
I wouldn't say lock them up. Let's not canonize us yet. That's what part of the problem was. I think we got a little full of ourselves there for a while, but he did a very good job on him. And what did that is he has a sense of urgency about him. That's why I ended up starting him. There's a sense of urgency this kid has. I thought he was going to be soft and not a very good defender. And that's why I told you guys as the summer went, I compared him to Max Christie. I thought Max Christie was our best defender. This kid has really defended. He gets loose balls. He's making shots now. He's done a hell of a job. And let me tell you, so did Cam Ward. Both of our freshmen, when you look at their stats, they both did a hell of a job in a big-time environment. I was proud of both of them, but what gave us confidence is just watching him every day in practice, what he does, how he plays, what his sense of urgency is every day.
Tom, you talked about his urgency, and you see the toughness too, and the guy's playing with stitches and a bandage on his eye, but I'm wondering the way it doesn't phase him that he's starting in some of the matchups he's playing. 27 minutes against a top 5 team is a serious deal for a freshman.
I'd agree with you. We said it, the other games we started them, some guys get nervous and some guys get excited. He's pretty even keel. Sometimes a little too even keel for me. That's me. He's him, and I thought he did a hell of a job of keeping his wits and doing what he does. But guy doesn't have a nervous bone in his body, and yet he's not cocky in any way, shape, or form. So he might be the perfect human being as a basketball player.
Coach, your team goes 22-0 in fast break points today. What can you say about the attack and transition, and what was the game plan like to outpace Illinois today?
Well, number one, where we been, because we haven't had many fast break points lately, and that's number one. Number two, we knew they were bigger than us, stronger, heavier, shot it better. We knew all those things. We thought if we could defend them decently and rebound the ball, we thought we could run them, The problem is they send 4 to the boards. It's beautiful. Personally, I love watching them. I love watching film of them, except it made me nauseous. But I liked it because they go hard, man. They go hard and just pulverize some teams on the boards. And so we put all of our efforts into that. And I think we did a decent job of that. And that was probably a difference in the game because they get rebounds and either score it or, better yet, kick it out for another 3, which happened a few times when we didn't get rebounds.
Looking at Jeremy in overtime and really the second half as well, kind of almost like a turn back to that Rutgers game in some ways. I'm wondering, after the last week and a half or so for him, how much did he need this performance?
Like I said, so many things I want to say that I will say someday, but I don't know if he needed it. I think, what we did is put him in a position on those downhill drives. We struggled some with theirs. They struggled some with ours. And, he made some great plays, but he made some plays that those other guys setting screens and moving did a hell of a job too. So did he need it to validate? No. Did I need it to him to validate? No. No, guys, I don't need that. I could give a damn about that. I just was pleased that most of the time I spent the last 4 or 5 days was talking with him, because you go one of 2 ways when there's distractions. You let him eat it up and you want to prove something. He was not in that mode at all. Or you just do your job and you take care of your business. First half, He took care of a lot of things, did a lot of good things, didn't score a lot of points. Second half, he did what he had to do, which great players do in winning time. He found a way to make some key plays. So, needed it? We needed to win. We needed to play like Michigan State. We needed to rebound, run. We needed to get back to doing what we do. Are we over a hump? Hell no. I mean, the next game, it gets tough. But the only nice thing for me right now, if you want the truth, I was thinking we played Wisconsin Wednesday. And you get in this job, the days don't, they just run together. And when I said, well, let's see, I'll call you guys tomorrow. We'll send a text out and tell you what time we're going to maybe look at some film. And they all kind of looked at me weird. And somebody, one of my staff members, I said, because we got to get ready for Wednesday, and said, we don't play for Friday. And I said, well, take what I said. That's off the door, right off the wall right now. Behave yourselves tonight. Nobody's working tomorrow. And I'm going to do my favorite thing in the world my whole life. I'm going to watch the frickin' Super Bowl. That's what I'm going to do.
Cam Ward's a guy.
I got Spartans on both, the punter and a running back.
Cam Ward's a guy who's been kind of having a tough time getting back from that
Yeah.
wrist injury. Had some massive plays tonight. Had a 2-for-2 trip at the line. Some big rebounds. Had that put back in overtime. What emotions do you feel for him right now?
If I was telling you the truth, I feel as good for Cam Ward as I do anybody. And Jackson deserves more credit for 16 rebounds. He didn't shoot it as well, but 16 rebounds is unbelievable. But Cam Ward, he brought energy. He's a phenomenal defender, and that's why we had him in there in the end. And not a great free throw shooter, and when he knocked those two down, I think if anybody needed a game like this, it was him. And I thought, because he's a good player, and he's going to be a really good player, and he's a really good kid. And I was happy, maybe as happy for Cam as anybody, because it has been a struggle for him coming back off the injury.
Coach, here in the middle. Wondering, in the end of the first half, when Kerr hit that big shot, he missed the first one. But what about the trust in which for Kohler to get that offensive board, then kick it back?
I mean,
out?
near the end of the game.
Excuse me, yes, at the end of the game in the second half, yeah. For him to hit
That was a
shot.
monster play, It was a monster play. It should have won us the game then. And Kohler gets the thing, kicked it out. Got to give Kirk credit. He didn't even think twice about it. He shot it again, And he's got a beautiful shot. I thought he missed some really wide open shots early. And today, in our shoot around, he made 22 threes in a row. And I said, he is going to be lightning tonight. And then he struggled early, but found a way to get a big shot.
But for him to get that second chance for no hesitation, immediately right back, what does that say about your guys' team chemistry and when all the pieces are working together like maybe they did tonight?
God, I thought you were going to say that was good coaching. I don't blame you, it wasn't. No, I thought it was really good that Jackson just fired it out there and he was standing right there. And, I think I heard Fears yell, shoot it, I do think this team has confidence in each other. But we've been rocked a little bit, we played bad, you got controversy, you got distractions. Yeah, it's the way it works. Yeah, I told you a long time ago, when things are going good, why are they good? Because you keep distractions and dirtbags away from your team. I got to do a better job of that, and I will.
Tom, if you had known you were going to outshoot him from the field, from deep, at the line, out-rebound him, out-assist him, would you have thought you'd need another 5 minutes to win?
I'd say no, but I'd say yes because I know how good they are. That's a better team than we are right now. And especially going into this game. They had won 12 in a row and we were limping. That's a better team right now. And yet, I thought we played better, and that's why you play the games on this night. But just think all the things we're talking about, and it still took overtime. They didn't shoot well, they didn't do this well, they didn't do that well, they still scored 82 points. So I think that shows you how good they are. And, we got some work to do, but they'll be knocking on that door still, I guarantee you.
And even though he had a double single tonight, how much did it mean to have Cooper back on planet Earth?
Well, I thought Coop, we moved him onto the guy that was giving us trouble was Merkovich, for a while there. He was giving us trouble. He was giving Jax a little bit of trouble. We moved Coop onto him, and Coop defended like he'd been defending before. And that nice shot he made inside, and he got some big rebounds. He got a couple two-hand rebounds when things were really tight. And, hey, our margin for error, I keep saying it, is very, very slim. I've had teams that margin for error was very, very big, and we were out in the first game of the NCAA tournament, All I know is I like my guys because they battle. I like them because they stuck together. I like them because, I think they supported me in decisions I have to make. And that's what it's all about, man, at the end of the day.
For this game, fears will obviously get the headlines because of the 11 points in overtime. But when we look down the stat sheet and what you've talked about, here we've talked about Tang, Cooper, Kohler, Ward, Scott. What does it say about this team performance after this last week and how it was a collective team to get this win?
We had 8 guys that scored a bucket. We really did do some good things, and Trey's been practicing better. I think he's going to help us more. We just got to get him in there now. Denham did some things. He had a big assist to Coop. I ain't worried about him. I just got to get Jeremy some time here and there. It says a lot that we're a team of numbers. Strength in numbers is what we went with all last year. We're not quite there. We're not quite that depth, but we did, and we did a good job of subbing them. I wouldn't want Wojcik's job on my bench because that's a tough job, but he did a great job of that too. So I don't know what it says. It says that I got, maybe there's no superstars there yet, but I got a lot of good players that play well together.
Got one final one over there.
Building off that, you had a lot of guys that played well. Is this a building block? Is there momentum? Is there such a thing?
Yeah, I think so, but I'm not getting ahead of my skis. I'm not. We were playing really well, winning by 10 points every game, and we didn't play very well against Michigan. We didn't play very well against Rutgers, and we didn't play very well against Minnesota. So when you've been in it 100 years like I have, building block, it's a building block for Cam Ward. I think it's a building block for Jordan Scott. I think it's a building block that if we really put something in on a 2-day prep to change some things we do defensively and still find a way to execute them, I think that'll be a confidence builder that we'll be able to follow the scouting report and do the things we need to do to win games, because it's going to take a collective effort. You're right. The coaches, the players, hell, the trainer. When Jordan went out, I said, "Where the hell are you going?" I got to go to the locker room. What for? I got to get stitched up. Put a patch on it. Let's go. So they kind of put a patch on it. I think they glued it. I looked at his eye. My trainer, Nick's the best, but the bandage was over his eye. I said, "Nick," he said, "Well, change it at halftime." I couldn't do it quick enough and get him out here. So even Nick did a hell of a job. So everybody did their job tonight, and I almost forgot to give credit where the most credit was probably due of all of them. I'm the luckiest human being on the planet to have fans like we have. I mean, they lit the place up. And believe it or not, it makes a big, big difference. When those lights went out and we were rocking and rolling, I just wish we were up enough so I could enjoy that moment, I never get to see how it is. But when you look up and you see people going crazy in the upper deck, boy, that means a lot to Tom Izzo. And so I would say everybody but the media did their job tonight. Every single person but the media. And I'm not mad at you, Larry, but someday I'll tell you the story. But right now, I'm going to take a little time and get out of here and go home and sleep in and come in and watch the film and do some work. And then, I don't know, what do you have for the Super Bowl? I never get to ever be in it anymore. You know, Marich and I used to, you know, just have chicken wings. And, you know, nowadays you can have chicken wings and you can have sandwiches and all that. We didn't have enough money. We had chicken wings and a potato chip. We enjoyed that damn Super Bowl, I'll tell you that right now. So thanks a lot, guys.
Before the Super Bowl, you can watch a replay of the hockey game.
Did we win?
Yeah,
Congratulations to our hockey team.
Who's winning tomorrow?